Hello everybody, this is Draco coming to you from the US2 server on Empire 4 Kingdoms. Today I'm going to be going over how to defend PvP attacks. As you can see, I currently have two incomings on me. One of them is just a shapeshifter hit, which isn't a real hit. The other one is an actual hit on my Everwinter Castle. That one is a real hit. That one will be the one I'm going to be showing how to defend as soon as it starts to show up. So, the main important thing to know when defending is you need to have good tools. It's not the only important thing, but it is one of the main important things. A lot of groups have a default offline setup of, say, like 80% melee, 20% range, and all lime powder bombs, or 100% melee and all lime powder bombs. And it's also super important that you have a good Castellan. My Castellan is a relic Castellan that gives plus 115.4% wall protection, 121.2% gate, minus 13.6% resources lost after being looted, plus 13.6% moat protection against enemy castle lords, 12.9% against enemy castle lords for gate, 75.7% moat protection, 120% melee and range unit strength. That is the maximum for the relic Castellans. 11.1% strength for units stationed in outposts and landmarks. Does not apply to Everwinter. Plus 25% unit strength when defending against castle lords. So that makes my Castellan currently a 120 melee, 145 range. Plus 19.3% wall limit when defending against enemy castle lords, which is almost max. The maximum for this stat is 20, as I covered in a previous video. Plus 11.8% strength in the courtyard when defending against castle lords. The max there again is 20. And plus 30% wall limit when defending. And plus 71.4% strength in the courtyard when defending. So as soon as the attack clears, I will be going over how to set up against it for sure. But generally, if you see 64 tools on the flank, it's safe to assume 64 shield walls at least. It is safe to assume that they sent 2 waves of 32. 32 or 70. 64 or 70 shield walls on the flank is how you generally know it's 2 waves. Because you would do that, you would divide it by 2. Which would be either 32 per wave or 35 per wave. So, I have a lot of defense in this castle, however, but not everybody would have this much defense. And I have a feeling the commander that's going to be attacking, we are currently at war, so a lot of the attacks coming in have been with relic commanders, which is not surprising. However, to defend properly against a relic commander, you need either for sure a relic Castellan, or not for sure relic Castellan, but you need a lot of defense in the courtyard. So you would need 16,000. Pretty good numbers just to defend it and win. However, if you want to decrease the kill death ratio and have more of units on your side survive, I would say probably more than double that would be proper. About 40 or so thousand. However, having a relic Castellan like I do evens the playing field significantly, because if I know this person's commander, how I know it's going to be a strong one, so it's probably going to be one that's like 140, including the PvP bonus, the enemy castle lord bonus for melee range. It's probably going to be somewhere around 140, 140. But I will not know until it clears. And it's currently nearly impossible to defend against a properly tooled Relic Castellan and Relic Commander and hold the front wall. You almost always have to go flank in order to hold the wall. A lot of people, I've been told that a lot of people just think that you can put, oh, I've got a winged knight Castellan, I can put that up on the wall, and win and hold the wall. That is not the case. You have to also have the correct defense, the correct tools, the correct troop count. You can't, because it is very, very near impossible to hold the wall even with a winged knight, which has the highest troop count on the wall of any set in the game, against a relic commander. Because of their sheer strength, they can have up to 60% more ranged and melee combat strength for than a winged knight, which caps at 90%, and relic commanders cap at 150% total, which is crazy and also makes it very interesting to defend against if you do not have a good Relic Castellan. The Relic Castellan that I am defending with was one that I spent about 2 to 3 months perfecting, and it can even now still be fine-tuned a bit to max out the courtyard strength, the PvP courtyard strength, max out the range strength, and then if I can find a gem that gives good other stats and some melee combat strength, then my cast will be perfect. Okay, so here's the incoming attack. So, yep, 72. So that could actually be 3 waves. So it is a 120% range, 80% later armory detection, minus 26.1% wall protection, minus 125.7% gate protection, minus 74.6% moat protection, 120% melee, 74% speed, 10% flank limit, which is odd. Okay. 5.4% strength in courtyard of enemy lords, minus 5.9% enemy lord wall protection, 30% flank, and 80% courtyard. So this commander does not have the flanks that I thought it would. I would have thought that it would have higher PvP flank, but that is okay. So this attack has probably three waves of tools on the left flank. For ranged tools, it probably has 23 waves of 24. So it will be a little trickier to set up for properly and not get wiped off the wall. And that is the biggest thing to worry about with relics, because if they win all the flank you're defending and they move to the courtyard, because if you're only defending the one wall, they also default win these two. So that gives them an extra 30% courtyard strength, which makes their maximum courtyard strength then 150%. which is very hard to overcome. And that makes it much trickier. So my alliance has sent me support, which is fine. And then I will be just basically waiting for the attack to land. And I will be back when closer to the land time. Alright guys, now it is now about a minute to land time, and just getting the final bits of setup in place, making sure my setup is correct for the defense. Should be, because that's the general defense in a lot of cases. And then I am going to show the results of the battle, and we'll go from there. Ten seconds to go until it will land, and then I will go over the battle report in some detail after it lands. Okay, so pretty good kill death ratio right there. So I held the flank like I expected. So it was, let's see what waves, how many waves of tools it was. Let's see. So it was 2 waves of 36 here, instead of 3 waves of 24, which makes sense. So let's go wave by wave. So I took out all of his troops. Took out all of his troops. Took him out. Took him out. Took him out. Took him out. So I did hold the flank, which is a feat to do against any relic commander. However, I think part of it was the fact that he didn't seem to have any PvP, melee, or range strength. It was just the 120, 120. My Castellan had 145 range, but that didn't impact me on the wall because my wall troops were all melee. However, also, he didn't have the max flank limit of 100 of the 20 here, so he was just about 10% short there. However, it was still a solid attack, and shout out to the person who helped me do this. And I hope that this video was helpful and useful, and that people will be able to benefit from this video for future defenses and just future gameplay in general. Thank you guys for watching / listening, and I will see you guys in the next video.